So Canon announced the 70D last night, and that is the long-awaited successor to the 60D. So this is Canon's XXD series, 40D, 50D, 60D. And there was a change back between 50 and 60. This is kind of seen as their semi-pro line, a significant step up, or at least a step up from the Rebel entry-level series. And the 50D was very much that, fairly rugged body, kind of a magnesium alloy framework in there, some weather sealing, micro autofocus adjustment, which means that when you put a lens on, sometimes the camera thinks what is perfect focus is not always perfect focus because the lens and the camera aren't perfectly in sync. Using microfocus adjustment, you can get those two in perfect sync. We're talking about very slight adjustments usually, not from very blurry to perfect, but maybe just a hair off to perfect. And that's a very nice thing for pros who are getting paid to shoot the best pictures that they can. You want to make sure that your equipment is perfectly aligned. And that was stripped out of the 60D, and a lot of people were really unhappy by that. The body was also shrunk a little bit, and it wasn't quite as robust, and the weather sealing was iffy. Now we got the 70D. It's been about 3 years, and we've been waiting for about a year, considering they release a Rebel just about every year, sometimes even more recently with the T5i. It's nice to look at this new camera. The headline feature, of which the press release spends a very large amount of time talking about, is this new Pixel AF focus. Down on the pixel level, it is doing autofocus for live view video recording. I find this interesting that they're putting this camcorder-like experience, and they now use that word, camcorder-like experience, in a semi-pro camera. I don't know of any professionals that are anxious or excited to use autofocus in video. It's just not reliable enough, not even with camcorders. Those folks are manually focusing. Now there may be some semi-professionals, low-end wedding photography, wedding videography that's out there, so they may be very interested in this camera. But what it's talking about is much, much better video focus from the 70D because it's down at this pixel level. Now it's going to be sold with the 18 to 55 and 18 to 135 STM lenses. That's going to give smooth and silent autofocus, but it is also supposed to be just as fast, not silent, but just as fast with any of the EF lenses. Now, without getting too bogged down in the details, the way the current autofocus system works in live view is the camera is looking for a focus and it gets it, but then it goes a little bit beyond to double check that, okay, going back in that direction, yes, it's getting out of focus again, and then back to where focus is. This new system is going to, supposedly, get rid of that extra check, and it's going to nail the focus right from non-focus to focus. It's not going to have to do that extra check, and it's going to do it very fast, very quickly. Early reports are quite positive, so that's good. But it's still interesting to me that this is the headline feature and that the press release spent so much time talking about it. Let's talk about a few other headline features of the new 70D. It's got the 20 megapixel sensor in there with slightly higher ISO, 25,600 with a full boost on. So the Digic 5 processor, Digic 5 Plus processor. Don't quite know what that plus means. It's been slightly revamped. The hardware probably isn't very much different, but the algorithms that are responsible for doing a lot of the processing are probably a little bit more efficient in there. We also have we have built-in Wi-Fi and NFC for photo transfer, so that's nice. I know folks are bummed that there's no GPS. There is no GPS in there. The touch screen, or the screen on the back, is the articulated screen that we saw on the 60D, but now it has the touch screen similar to the 50D. Early reports are that it's very nice, and it seems to be actually sharing the same screen as the SL1, which is a slightly more sensitive, brighter screen than the T4i is. We got the full HD video, so back talking about video. This really seems to be focused on video, this camera with this headline feature of the Pixel AF. You have the whole suite of H.264 with the all-I or IPB compression. If you don't know what that means, don't worry a whole lot, but it means really high quality or a little less high quality, different compressions for your video codecs. I am hearing that there is no uncompressed HDMI out, which is a bummer, especially for serious photographers, serious videographers. it would be nice if they put that in there. And there's no headphone jack either, which isn't a huge deal, but it certainly is nice to be able to plug in a pair of headphones from time to time and check your levels other than just watching the meters on the back. And they have added in the micro autofocus adjustment. That's nice. That's back in there. So I applaud that. I was surprised that they did. I thought they were going to keep that out and force people to go to the higher end cameras if they wanted that feature. Price-wise, it's starting out at $11.99 for the body only, $13.49 for the 18 to 55 STM, and $15.49 for the 18 to 135 STM. That higher price, the $15.50, let's round up here. Let's even maybe round up to $1,600 after you buy an extra battery and some SD cards. You are very close to the price. That does get you a nice camera with a nice 18 to 135 lens, but you are into the realm of some close to full-frame sensors or used cameras. You're right there with them, so that's tough. There is the D7100 on the Nikon side, which is currently the king of crop sensor low-light performance. It's going to be really interesting to see how the 70D performs comparatively. There has been mention that it's doing very, very well, but I'd like to see some side-by-side shots. I'm going to be collecting all of the information I find and, of course, getting my hands on one as soon as possible. They will be shipping August 15th. Links down below this will be where I've collected all of the information, plus links to pre-order. And so if you think you're interested, you might want to put in for the pre-order. They say that quantities are going to be very limited at first. You can always cancel a pre-order in a week or two, or you can let it arrive and be like, yay, new shiny camera. And I'll be collecting image samples, video samples, and talking lots more about that, so that link is all down below. If you have any questions or comments about the 70D or which camera is right for you, just leave a comment down below, or even better, come over and find me on Facebook. If there's something I didn't cover, because there are some other features, so just kind of hit the headline ones, just leave a comment down below as well. And I thank so much for watching, and please subscribe. Lots more videos coming about the 70D and, of course, all the other DSLR cameras that are currently popular. Thanks so much for watching.